medication is not stored in a container such as this, it does need to be on the bottom shelf of the refrigerator. This is a handy time to check the temperature of your refrigerator because foods as well as medications need to be stored at the proper temperature. The requirement for the refrigerator temperature is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. The requirement for the freezer temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit. You're also required to have a thermometer to verify those temperatures. We've talked today about several things about health, hygiene, and infection control. One of the things I really would like to leave with you today as we close is the importance of you as a caregiver, that we are concerned about your health as well as the children's health. One of the things I usually recommend to caregivers is to keep their gloves handy in their pockets. That way, if they're on the playground, during the hallway, or on the bus, they have gloves handy that they can slip right on and to protect them and their health. A quick way to remove gloves that I wanted to remind you about is to just take your hand and pinch it in the palm of your hand and remove your glove like this, and with your clean hand, slip it underneath and pull it over like this, and then you can dispose of them properly. Health and hygiene are so much a part of our daily lives. It's important to bring good habits with us as we come into the child care facility each day. We usually recommend that the caregivers wash their hands upon entering the child care facility. That way, that ensures that there's soap and paper towels and the items are convenient for you. In closing, there are some things that we would like to remind you of. One, the health department staff is here to help you. Your county sanitarian and nurses are available for you for consultants. And we really stress to you that we would like for you to call us. Each county health department does have a health care consultant that is available to the child care centers. And as I leave you today, there are 3 things that I would like for you to remember. Number 1 is wash your hands. Number 2 is wash your hands. And number 3 is, you guessed it, wash your hands.
When we think about a safe environment for our children, one concern that every parent and child care provider has is the threat of fire. Major Ron Lovelace from the Oklahoma City Fire Department has a few words for us on fire safety.
Who can tell me what to do if your clothes catch on fire? Real good, you guys have been listening. Child care professionals devote their lives to the care and safety of children. When parents leave their kids at one of the state's over 1,600 child care centers, most probably never consider the possibility of a fire occurring. Sadly, sometimes they do. And what you do in the first few seconds after discovering a fire will in a large part determine the outcome. All fires, with the exception of explosions, start small. If discovered early enough, a properly used fire extinguisher can halt the fire spread or contain it until the fire department arrives. Before you use a fire extinguisher, there are certain procedures that you should follow, certain facts that you should know, like what to do if you discover a fire and how to use the extinguisher. We're going to do a demonstration in a very few minutes, and we're going to move to another location. If you discover a fire in your center, before you use an extinguisher, there are some procedures that you should follow. First, make sure everyone knows that there is a fire in the building. Whatever your center's procedures are for alerting staff, be sure and use those. The second thing is, make sure you call 911. If someone is burned or injured, make sure you get an emergency medical crew on the scene. Make sure everyone has left the building or is leaving the building, and keep the evacuation paths clear. You need to be aware of the locations of your extinguishers in your centers, and also that there are 4 different types of extinguishers to fit the 4 different classes of fires. There's a Class A extinguisher for ordinary combustibles. Class B is for flammable liquids. Class C is for energized electrical equipment, and Class D is for combustible metals. You need to know when to use a fire extinguisher and when not to use an extinguisher. Use an extinguisher when the fire is small or confined, when everyone in the building is leaving or has left the building, and after you've called your local fire department. Be sure when using the extinguisher to keep your exit at your back. Never use an extinguisher when you don't know what's burning, when the fire is large or spreading up the wall or over the counter, and when the plastic seal on the extinguisher has been removed. After selecting the extinguisher, make sure that the gauge reads the full or charged position. Now, how do you use a fire extinguisher? It's simple. Remember the word pass. The P stands for pull the pin. The A stands for aim the extinguisher. The S stands for squeeze the handle, and the second S stands for sweep. To extinguish a small fire, start 10 feet back and walk as you put the fire out. Each center has its system for alerting staff to evacuate the building. Know your center's procedures, know your center's plan, and know the evacuation route. Move the kids quickly out the building to a pre-assigned area outside of the building.
This is a drill. We're having a fire drill.
I want you to very quietly line up at the back room with your hands to your side. Single file line. Hurry. Yes, it is. Let's go. Hurry, hurry.
Make sure the meeting spot is a safe place away from the building and out of the way of the responding fire companies. Have your roll sheets with you so you can account for your kids. If you follow our procedures, you will have a safe evacuation and you'll be in control.
Another safety concern is Oklahoma's severe weather. Springtime always brings the possibility of tornadoes. Weather forecaster Terry Camp tells us how to prepare for bad weather.
Well, it is tornado season in Oklahoma. March, April, May, and June, those are the 4 months where most of the tornadoes hit Oklahoma. We have that warm Gulf air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico and the cooler air coming down from the Rockies, and we can see the big thunderstorms and tornadoes fire up through those months. 18 tornadoes on average in the month of May in Oklahoma, and some of the kids here at this child care center are getting into the spirit with tornadoes made out of yarn. So we've got tornadoes on the way. The children know it, and it's a good thing for all these child care centers to know about the tornado safety drills. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. A tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for a tornado. It doesn't mean one has been sighted, but they're favorable, and you probably want to keep abreast of the situation by tuning into TV stations or radio stations or your NOAA weather radio. Now, a tornado warning means that a funnel cloud or a tornado has been sighted in your area. Then you're going to hear some sirens, and you're going to want to do the best thing for your situation as far as getting into a safe area. Now, once you hear a siren outside and a tornado is approaching, you want to get inside a building. First of all, tornadoes certainly are accompanied by thunderstorms, and lightning is a big problem. Lightning injures and kills more people in this country than tornadoes. Now, once inside the building, try to find the lowest possible floor. Basement, cellar, grate, first floor, stay there. Try to get inside the building, in the center of the building, say a bathroom where there are no windows, because one of the main problems in tornadoes, one of the main problems the way people get hurt, is from flying debris, flying glass, for instance. So you want to watch out for that. Stay inside a hall if you can, and make sure you duck your head under your legs. Try to get them between your legs, because that'll protect you from the flying debris. The best way to prepare for a tornado is by planning. Those drills are very important to make sure you and the children know what to do. And again, remain calm. Most tornadoes don't hit buildings, and most tornadoes do not cause death or injuries. Remain calm. So with these few tips, I think you'll have no problem preparing for the tornado season and any severe weather that accompanies this spring.
Another safety issue for child care centers is transportation of children. Captain Jerry Loika from the Midwest City, Oklahoma Fire Department met with me some time back to discuss the safest way to transport children. We're here at the Midwest City Fire Department with Captain Jerry Loika, Public Education Officer. Captain Loika, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Before we get too far into this, just how important is it to keep a child strapped in all the time? Say I just want to go around the corner, get something at the store. Is it critical that I strap my child in every time?
It's really essential. Most people feel that because we're just going around the corner that nothing happens, but statistically we know that most serious accidents that occur where children are injured occur in a residential situation, not on the freeway.
All right. Now we see these child care vans around. We see them